Hello. Hello. Welcome to the stream. Hello, everyone. I'm just gonna test the audio for a second. Just one moment, sorry. Okay, hello. Yes, it's working. Hello. I'm not sure how many people are here because I'm not sure if my notification went out. But if you have found my stream, welcome. Um, so yes, today we're going to finish up this drawing. The goal is to finish the drawing today, but we'll see how much we can get through. I started this drawing on the last live stream when I was taking requests for drawing animals, and someone said Hydrangea Dragon, and I was like, ooh, cool. I want to draw that. I don't know what that looks like, but I want to draw that. And so this is what I've come up with. He's a little dragon, and he lives in a bush of hydrangea flowers. I think he curls up on like a little one of the little pom-poms of hydrangea flowers very cutely, but I think he's like a tiny menace. He's a little bit like extremely territorial. So I think he's cute, and I would like to color him in with like some pastel blue pink colors, just like hydrangea flowers. So yeah, I'm just doing one little final set of yuppie thing, and then we'll get started, and I suppose we'll give everyone a minute to arrive. Just trying to find, there's this thing on YouTube that's like the back end of YouTube live streaming, and I'm just trying to find it. Where is it? Because I haven't streamed in like 2 weeks, and so obviously I've forgotten everything. Ooh, maybe if I click the Go Live Center. Ooh, I think I found it. Okay. Cool. Okay. Hello. I have finished my setup, and also apologies that I always intend to start exactly on time, and every time I'm like a few minutes late. So apologies for that. Today also we're in a new, would you call this a time slot? We're in a new time slot. It's my Monday. Usually I stream on my Wednesday, but just like with my schedule's sort of a bit changeable right now, so it's just sort of worked out that Monday would be better for me this week, and it's potentially Sunday for some of you, so I'm sort of testing this out to see how it goes, because I think this would be maybe a good sort of time to do a regular stream. My Monday morning, other people's Sunday, potentially they have more free time, but we'll see. So now, because I haven't worked on this drawing for a week or two, I'm just gonna figure out what my layers are. Okay, cool. Last time when I was drawing this, I had all of these back spines drawn up, and then we had a technical difficulty, and now I have to redraw them. So that's task one today. My cat Inky is wandering across my desk. Hello, Inky. Please don't press any buttons. Okay, just walk right across the tablet. Thank you, Inky. Oh, she just wants a cuddle. Cute little cat. Cool. So yeah, these spikes are kind of like, they're a little bit square because I'm going for the shape of a hydrangea petal. So cool. I suppose, yeah, task one is continue to work on the petals. My brush is working. Nice. How is everyone? Is anyone hanging out? So doing some spikes on the back. It is a little bit frustrating to have to draw these again, but such is technology. They looked so good as well. You can see in my live tab, you can watch the replay, and you can see how far we got through these spikes before. What happened? I think my program crashed. And my autosave did save the day, but it did not save all of the day. It saved most of the day. So that's why a lot of these spikes that I have already drawn were not saved. Yeah, cool. Something cool that I've been up to recently is you may have seen on I posted a short about this on YouTube, and I posted to TikTok, and also a still images on Instagram. But recently in Sydney, we've had this thing called the Incognito Art Show happening, which is I only found out about it last year, but it's been going on for a while. Like, I've heard about people who've been doing it for like 7 years. And it's really cool. It's an art sort of sale. It's an art exhibition. And anyone can donate up to 3 A5 size artwork. So basically, like, you just sign up and they'll send you 3 A5 art cards. And it's basically like, on one side you make the art, and on the other side it's like you put the title and the date and your name and everything. And yeah, so anyone can sign up, and you donate 3 artworks, and they sell them, and all of the funds that they raise from selling those artworks go to support organizations that support artists living with disabilities. So it gives them fundraising for like studio space, materials, that sort of thing. Like, art can be a very expensive thing to do. So it helps raise money for people who need more materials and things like that. So yeah, the sale is on right now, and so that's all I've been thinking about the last few days. It's like, I made a whole wish list of art that I really like, and each year since I heard about it last year, I like to buy one piece each year, and this year I'm really excited. I was able to collect my top choice, which is this beautiful bird. My cat's on the desk again. Inky. You know when a cat jumps on the desk and you're like, nudge nudge, please get off the desk, and they're like, how about maybe bite? That's what's happening right now. She's so cute. Okay, you curl up on the wires. You make a little nest out of wires. Okay, that's fine. We can coexist like this. So that's what I've been thinking about recently. It's just this art show. And I donated 3 artworks to it, and one of them sold, which is so exciting. So the online sale only went live last night. And as soon as the online sale went live, one of mine sold. So I was really excited. It meant that someone was hoping to get it, and that just feels really nice. So yeah, I recommend, if you are looking for affordable art pieces for a good cause, incognitoartshow.com. I am not sponsored. I just really like this, the whole event. It's really cool. And if my pieces sell, and the thing is, I can't tell you which are my pieces, because the concept of the show is that you don't know who the artist is until after you buy the artwork, which is the reason why, like, everyone's artwork is priced the same. So it's a very accessible way to start collecting art. But it means that I can't tell you which ones are mine. But if you can figure out which ones are mine, and if you buy them, as soon as all 3 of them are sold, I can share them more widely, which is exciting. So yeah, it's a very cool show, and yeah, it's a big part of what I've been thinking about recently, because it's been happening, and I went to see it, and I went to buy my my favorite piece the other day. What am I doing here? I feel like I'm just continuing this pattern, but what is actually in the sketch? It's a very vague sketch. Yeah, okay, I think one more, maybe one more here. Nice. Okay, so we've got 2 rows of spines, plates, stegosaurus bits, and And now save. Don't forget to save. We've already gone further than the autosave. So the autosave that saved us. Every time we save the file, we protect from the great crash of the last stream. Okay, so I've got these wings. I've actually got other wings somewhere. Where have I put that? I'm looking through my layers. Here. With the wings, I'd like them to be a little bit translucent. So for this reason, I'm drawing all of the spines that might be behind them. And this might get way too complicated, but we'll see when we start putting color on. Oh no, so many lines here. I'm gonna have to find a way to make this more clear, more simple somehow, but it is not right now. It probably means like generally I've been doing black line art, so I might, within the shape of these wings, I might color the line art just to set some of these shapes back a little bit. Hello. Thank you. Welcome to the stream. I'm drawing a Hydrangea Dragon. It's a little dragon who lives in a hydrangea bush. And he's going to be purple and pink and pretty colors. So yeah, I'm just drawing up these spines. Plates, I don't know, spiky bits. What am I doing? I feel like I've lost the shape. I've lost a little bit of the shape. Let's redo that one. This sort of, these plates are sort of inspired by approximately the shape of a hydrangea petal. Like, you know, hydrangeas are in those like bundles. Each hydrangea stem kind of looks like a little bouquet, but within that little bundle there's all these little tiny flowers, and each of those has petals that are sort of kind of a squarish diamondy kind of shape. So I'm trying to go for that kind of shape because that's how this little hydrangea dragon is camouflaged. This little line could be nicer. Let's do that again. And a little bit square and bring it down with a little flow. And I'm trying to avoid tangents. So like it's a real complicated part of the drawing here, this area. But I'm trying to avoid having lines sort of start and stop in the same place as another set of lines. So for example, like here, it's getting a little bit close. So what I'm going to do is just kind of pull this one down a little bit to make a bit more space there. That's probably fine. And just going down towards his head here. So I think like the spines themselves are not going to be see-through, but I think the wings will be see-through. So I'm imagining we probably won't see like this line here, this line of the leg. So therefore I can put that there and that's fine. Oh my gosh, Inky, no. Inky, stop. Inky. Inky, what are you doing? Inky is climbing the back of my chair. It's not a good idea. Inky. My goodness. You go sit on my mouse pad. It's a nice little podium. There you go. She likes to have a defined space. I think many cats like to have a defined space, so the mouse pad is good for that. Please don't chew the table. Oh my gosh. Okay. She's sedated for now. Not for any reason. It's just that she's decided to stop chewing the table. Can't wait to start coloring this drawing. I think, what am I doing? I want this to be low because I don't want to be like drawing in this little space here. So thinking low because these are getting a little bit smaller at this point as we get closer towards his face. A little bit small. Oh my gosh. Is that? No, I don't like the way that's lining up with the one behind it. Rotate. I love the rotate tool. So handy. Pinky's back. Where are you going? Pinky. Walking just in front of me, between me and the drawing tablet. Okay, she might be curling up on the sofa now. We might be free. This arc is going a bit too high for me, so let's pull that down from maybe here. Select that and just rotate it down. Oh no, I zoomed in and accidentally undid it. Okay, that's all right. Oh no. Sometimes it draws like a solid line, which is not what I want, like just a solid straight line in the middle of everything. Okay, how do we finish this bit? I feel like I wouldn't mind that going a little bit lower again. So I'm going to select it from there and center. This is like, this little cross here is like the center of rotation. So move that to where I want it to rotate from and then just rotate that down. Yeah, let's do like a little one that's like a little bit disconnected, a little bit like blending things in. Is that anything? I don't know. No, I think I'm going to get rid of those. I'll blend it in the colors, but not in the line art. Or else I'll just I'll solve this problem later. Okie dokie. This is where we're up to, and save the file. And now what's next? I think I've got 2 rows of spines. I did plan to have a 3rd row. I'm also thinking like now I want this curve here to be more like curved rather than flat. So let me think where to rotate from. Select this part here. Center rotation up there and move that down. And then at the top of this one, I'm going to rotate that down to meet it. So move the cross to the left, rotate that down, and I might even just stretch that out just to fill in the gap. Oh no. Now we've got that dreaded tangent right there. Okay, let's select this one and move that in. And now I'm just going to clean up some of these little bits. Cool. I think at this point, I might just start coloring. Yeah, because I think like it would be nice to have another row of spines to make him look like lush and very flowerful. But I think I'm going to start coloring and then I'll decide if I can add those later, see if it needs it. So, okay, save the file. And I'm going to have to go into my layers and figure out where to start. This is the body. And this is the head. Okay, cool. Because we've got a lot of overlapping shapes here, so we're going to have to be really on top of layer management. And I know you can't see my layers, so I'll try and explain what I'm doing. So I've got, at the bottom here, I've got my sketch in a folder, and then I've got, this is a folder with all of the headlines, and I've got like different layers within this folder. And then I've got this folder, which is body lines, and I've got different layers within this folder. This seems to be legs, and this is like the main body. So let's turn those up, and let's just for now turn off the all of these little frilly bits. Just labeling some layers. So spine layer, this is wings. Okay, we're gonna start with this because then we'll fill in the body. Okay, labeling this, I've got a layer and I'm calling it body base, probably. Now we gotta pick a color. What's it gonna be? It's gonna be like a lilac-y, bluey, purpley color, because hydrangeas. So I like to select everywhere that is outside the character, and we'll see. Ooh, nice. Clip Studio Paint is what I'm drawing in, and it's cool because even though I've got gaps in these lines, it sort of bridges them. It's pretty good at that. And you can adjust those settings as well. So invert the selection. So now it's just inside the character. And the reason I selected outside the character and then inverted it instead of just like, I'll show you, I could just select inside the character, which it's doing now. There we go. But you'll see when I select inside the character, it is missing everywhere that there is a line. And these lines are not entirely opaque. They're not entirely like a flat black line. So that would make the line art look a little bit patchy because it would be missing underneath the lines. So I'm going to go back to what I did before, which is select the outside. And then if we invert that, we get the entire character silhouette. Hello. Goodness, hello. Welcome everyone to the live stream. Thank you for coming. And yeah, sorry, I know I'm on a different day and I only scheduled the live stream less than a day ago. So I am trying to get better at that. But thank you so much for dropping in. I'm gonna start adding color to the Hydrangea Dragon, and the spines are just turned off for now, but they are coming back. So I selected outside, I inverted, and now let's fill with. Oop, I did not invert. I lied. Select invert. Now fill. Purple. It's a purple dragon, and then we go in a bit closer and just make sure that we are getting all of the bits that are forgotten. Like this is a foot. This is like the back foot. Just fill that in. Go up here and clean up some of these little bits. Doop, doop. Can I do a mini boy kisser for Pride, please? So what do you mean by a mini boy kisser? I'm not quite sure what you mean. But also today, I'm sorry, I'm just drawing this Hydrangea Dragon today. But excited for Pride. Happy Pride. That's cool. Because it's June. My gosh. Yes, June is Pride Month, and I get confused because in Australia, June is winter, so I don't think we really do Pride in June here. Like it's Pride Month mostly in North America, I think. I don't know. I feel like we do our Pride stuff in the summer here, or like earlier in the year, like in March, pretty sure. So I always forget that June is Pride Month because we do it in March here. And in fact, there's a Mardi Gras parade, and I miss it every year, and I'm always like, nah. I always want to go, and I've always got something else on. So silly. Okie dokie. This little toofy, little fangs. I had a thought about the teeth. Are they in the right spot? I was looking at him yesterday, and I was just thinking, like, are these teeth in the right spot? But if in case anyone missed the last stream, which is where we started drawing this dragon, the face of this dragon is loosely based on, I think, a hog-nosed snake. So they got these cute little faces. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna leave it for now. We'll see. I feel like when you start adding color to stuff, you it reveals things in the shapes and in the silhouettes that you didn't quite see before. Nice. So I've got one layer called body base, and that's purple. And over the top, I'm going to clip, and I'm going to clip. I'm going to use the color white, and I'm just going to fill in the eyes and the teeth. And whoop. Teeth. And when I select, I like to expand a little bit. Let's go like 2 pixels. It just expands and it just gets into the line art a little bit, so there's not like an odd pixely gap. And now I'm just gonna make sure I'm coloring in all of those gaps underneath the lines, and I've seen that it's gone weird on this left eye, so let's fix that up. Cool. Now, because I am a bit pedantic, a bit picky, I'm just going to tidy up some of these lines. I really shouldn't worry about this. I'm going to do it anyway. Drawing that a bit better. Now, I'm not entirely sure. Like, I've got the mouth going back, like, pretty far. That's cute. Just a little dimply bit here. Is that too far though? I'm gonna just look at some hognose snake reference because his face is loosely based on a hognose snake. So just off screen, just gonna look up. I'm pretty sure it's called a hognose snake. Oh my gosh, yes, they're cute. Oh yeah, their mouths do go back quite far. I think I'll just like extend this out a little bit because like this space here is just very like parallel. So I'm gonna select that and I'll just stretch that out a bit further so that it's a bit Or is that weird? Maybe I bring it in more. Yeah, I think I like that better. Bringing it in. There's a smidge of purple on the eye, the smaller one. Is it, let's zoom in. Do you mean this one? Oh my gosh. Is it this tiny little smidge? I'm so glad we caught that. Cleaning up. Can I just turn off the lines? Let's just turn off the lines. Ah, get rid of that. Okay. Nice. Thank you. Saved. Cute. Okay. He looks like a little salamander. Let's do now far wings, maybe? Because far wings are behind. If I go, I'm just going to turn off that color. Okay, so let's get these back up to 100% opacity. Now, if the wings are a little bit transparent, I need to make sure that I'm coloring them separately. So group, so this wing, turn off that wing for now, and inside this wing, let's paint, let's just paint a slightly different color so that I can keep track of things. I'm having ideas about what to do with the colors. I'm thinking it could be cute to make the wings clear, to have so the body's more of the bluish color, and then the spines are a little bit more pink, and then the wings are more pink again. So this sort of thing we'll have to tweak once I fill it all in. We can see it all together. But for now, let's use that sort of color for the wings. And this other wing. Select expand, like, let's just go like 1 pixel. 1 pixel. And yeah, I'm just thinking let's do 60% opacity for wing fills, and we'll have to adjust as we go along once we see it all together. So that was far away wings. Let's do near wings whilst we're on those colors. How to make this clear? Let's turn off the far wings. I might just need to select some of these shapes. I'd rather not turn off the whole. Yeah. Okay, undo. So that's about how much I can select, because there's a big gap obviously at the bottom of the wing. So select, expand a few pixels, but then also I'll just fill this in here. And then I'll just zoom in and fix it up by hand. Let's get rid of this wing for now. I'm going to also select the line art. What am I doing now? Do I just fill? Yeah, let's just fill where the line art is. I think I'm going to use gradients to blend the wings into the body. So at this lower section here, the wing will be the same color as the purple body, and it will sort of gradient up to pink. I'll do that when I get up to the next stage of coloring, which is more detailed color. This wing. I'm gonna select that and fill that in because that's quick, but I might just do the rest by hand on the correct layer. You were in another live chat and someone told us to stay on topic of the stream, and the stream was just literally a completely black screen. Oh no. Did they know it wasn't like probably not, was it not working, or was it just like, was that the goal? Cool. So now I'm gonna lasso tool. Whoop. Lasso tool is quicker than coloring by hand and also less strain on my arm, because when you draw a lot you have to protect your arm muscles. It gets a bit of a strain. So wherever possible I like to lasso tool and fill rather than coloring in by hand to avoid the repetitive motion. And now I've seen these lines and I can't leave them. I must clean them up. Oop. Clip Studio's auto saving. Thank you, Clip Studio. Okay, this bit gone. Now this fill color at 60% and bring back the other wing. Where did it go? Where did it go? Oh, this folder. Nice. And click that and let's go 60% and just putting some stuff in some groups. And now let's, just because I want to see, let's bring back the fur wings. Aww. Cute. Save the file. What a friendly little, scary little creature. These are the tail petally bits. I think let's do them the same color as the wings. Why not? That'd be cool. It's good to use color to like show off the different aspects of the design, to clarify the different shapes. So I think that'd be cool if these were also similarly pink. Now, what's going on with this layer? Was this like a fast version? And then, yeah, that's how it seems to me. Yeah, because I think I was going for square and this one was not as square as I wanted. So let's just delete that, why don't we? And now, so we're gonna probably go through petal by petal and fill them in and make sure they're all clean and separate. So start with that one. Turn those off. Select, expand a little bit. And then we just do a little cleaning up. There should be a little gap in there. Just gonna yeah, fill in where the lines are. That's easiest. And put those two layers in a group and switch that off and move on to the next one. Okay, these are behind. Okay, cool. I was like, why is there a big gap here between the shape and the tail? Because it's behind. You can't see it anyway. Even so, you can't see this. I'm still going to clean it up. It's who I am. Put those in a group. On to the next one. Select and fill. Select the outlines and fill. And deselect. And put those in a group. And the last one. Selection from color and fill. Give it a second. Selection just this outline. There we go. I think I accidentally selected everything. Okay. Now let's see those all together. Okay, this is messy. Don't love. Okay, we're gonna just have to go through layer by layer and neaten it up a little bit. So this one is attached to the tail. Nice. Let's fix this up a little bit. That's, oh yeah. I was erasing the lines and I was like, why is it showing up pink? It's because I filled in where the lines are, of course. Consequences of my own actions. Let's do this like this maybe. Cool, and erase that out the way. Make sure that's all filled in. Okie dokie. This one, to make sure that I'm okay, so it's not so much this one as it's this top layer really. It's the gaps. The gaps are not helping. So let's get rid of this and just like close it up a little bit more. Nice, and just fill in those. Inky's back. What is she up to? Inky, what are you doing? Stepping everywhere. Inky, my cat, loves to step. One of her favorite things is she'll like, you know how cats kind of saunter up behind you and they kind of rub against your leg? She'll do that and then she'll be standing a little bit in front of my foot, and then with her back foot she'll just step on my foot repeatedly multiple times. She'll just be like step, 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 and it's really cute and I'm not quite sure what it means, but when she's doing it you can't leave. You're kind of stuck. So it's very cute, but yeah, I just think she loves to step. She's always stepping and she's walking on people. Okay, that's looking a bit neater. Now let's see. Now if we're doing if we're doing transparency, I might need to make sure this is properly neat all the way through. I'm thinking also, currently I've got that above the tail. Let's put that below the tail and see what happens. below the tail. Nice. Let's just make everything a little bit transparent, see what happens. Because if these are similar, if these are similar to the wings, then they should be a little bit transparent as well. I'm just gonna put everything to 60. Yes. As I suspected, messy. Let's this one especially. Move this one over. And I'm just gonna fan this one out a little bit more. Oh no, I've just left a... I'm always talking about tangents and I've just left a really big one right on the side there. Pretty. It does kind of look like a lotus, doesn't it? I think someone mentioned a lotus earlier. Cool. Yeah. Zoom out and see the whole effect. I think I like that. Like, it's not perfectly symmetrical or anything, but I think I like that. It's natural-ish looking. Save the file. I'm just gonna have a quick drink of water. Okay, now to do the spines. How to do the spines efficiently. That might be tricky. Oh, we could do most of these efficiently. So I don't think the spines are going to be see-through because it's going to get way too complicated and messy if we do that. So let's turn off the wings. And then we should be able to fill in some of those shapes. I'm going to select a color that's sort of somewhere in between the blue and the pink that we've got. Start selecting shapes. This should get through most of the shapes. Expand. And I'm going to grab the lines as well, fill that in. Now zooming in, I'm just going to have to manually fill in the rest. These are just overlapping a little bit with the body. And sort of like a stegosaurus has spines. Plates? I don't know. Would you call them plates? I think that's probably what you'd call them. Oh my goodness, I've just remembered. Um, I love dinosaurs and I grew up watching Walking with Dinosaurs. It was the coolest show and it would like take you through the history of dinosaurs as a nature documentary, which had not, I don't think it had been done before at the time. Now, of course, we've got Prehistoric Planet, which is amazing. But Walking with Dinosaurs was like the precursor to that. And they have, I think, like I was thinking about it recently and I was like, I wonder if I could watch original Walking with Dinosaurs anywhere. And in my looking it up, I discovered that I'm pretty sure like next week they're rebooting Walking with Dinosaurs and they're doing a new version of it. So I'm extremely excited about that. Um, yeah, that was like absolutely love that show. My grandparents had like the DVD of it, so every time I would go to visit, I would watch it. And it was amazing. Filling in all these shapes. Prehistoric Planet's amazing as well. I really like dinosaur documentaries that look like nature documentaries. And Prehistoric Planet is made by the people that do not National Geographic, but like David Attenborough's stuff. And it's obviously his voice is he's the presenter. And it's so cool to watch documentaries of dinosaurs and just think like there are no people anywhere. Like anywhere. It's all nature, all everywhere, the entire planet. And I find that such an interesting feeling to think about. And it's like when I look at footage of Mars, it's really wild to think that the whole planet is just there's no life on it. It's just rocks and wind and sun, and that's it. And you could walk anywhere and you wouldn't see a living thing. If I mean, you couldn't walk anywhere, you would be dead. But yeah, I find that really fascinating, thinking about different worlds and how there's just like nothing or no one or anything like that. He's got a little mohawk with a little punk rock guy. What am I doing now? Outline, put that up. And why don't I just put that in a group, organize my layers. And now we've got small spines. And can I, you can get a little bit of selecting done here. Small spines, select all the shapes that I can. And expand just to get overlapping with outlines just a tiny little bit. Fill that in. Select the outlines. Fill that in. And now manually I'm going to paint in the rest. I might just actually turn down the body color so that I can see a little bit more clearly. Now, what painting with transparency, paint with the color, that's better. And like, yeah, that should be fine. Oh my gosh. I might have to revisit those now that I turned down the transparency on the body. There's a few little gaps here and there. I wonder if I could just, maybe I could speed things up if I did this. Just paint over like the complicated little bits and fill in these gaps. That's the way. That's totally the way. Fill this in. So by closing off the gaps, then I can just select it and fill it in. Okay, turn off the body and moving along. Select size is way quicker. Cool, and now select just so that I have a little bit of an overlap. Expand by like 2 pixels. Fill that in. And still a few little things to fix up here and there. What happened to that section? Nice. Okay, while we're zoomed in, I'm just going to check the previous ones that I colored in to make sure that I got everywhere. All filled in. Wonderful. Okie dokie. Now let's look at it all together. So turn back on the layers that I turned off. So body, let's bring that back up. Those are very similar in value, which is something we'll have to fix. Where did the tail go? Tail, luscious. And far wings and near wings. Interesting. Oh, we're missing a layer of spines. Where'd you go? Is it this one? Yeah. What a little friend. Well, what a little enemy. Save the file. Nice. Now, it's occurring to me that these faraway wings are missing. I can't really see them. Could I just like rotate them up? Is that just one of the wings? Where's the other wing? There we go. Is that anything? I don't know. That looks... Maybe. I don't know. No, I think I prefer that. It's more simple. What should you do next? Probably we need to figure out these colors. Okay, so let's look at it in black and white. Black and white reveals all the problems. So I'm going to add a layer. I'm going to fill it in black. And I'm going to set it to the layer blend mode to saturation. Nice. Okay, so we can see that the problem between the spines and the body is a value problem. They look too similar. So I'm going to lighten the spines. Pick a lighter color, select, lock the transparency. And so the way that I've figured out to do this is rather than paint bucket filling into the shape, like, wait, let me start from the beginning. I filled in these spines with a flat color and I've locked the transparency. If I just paint bucket fill tooled, I find often that it doesn't quite reach the outside pixels of the silhouette of the shape. So what I do instead is I lock the transparency. I use the lasso tool to select everywhere. And then I will either use a solid colored brush to paint over it, or in Clip Studio Paint, you can see, I hope you can see on the right here, there's this paint bucket fill tool option that comes up when you select a shape, and you just click that and it will fill absolutely everything inside of that shape. But we've locked the transparency in the layer, so we'll only fill what's already there. So that is the way to make sure that you completely evenly cover every single pixel on that layer. And now what I've seen is, why is this, why do we have this little outline here? Is that because I expanded it? Did I expand it too much? Oh no. What to do about that? Okay, magic wand tool, only on this layer, not looking at every layer that I have, only looking at this layer. Select outside the shape. Okay, cool. And now we select expand 2 pixels. No, undo that. How about we just, no, wait, maybe we go further. Expand 3 pixels. Let's select expand, but I'm going to change the corner expansion type to be more sharp. And now what if I just move the selection down? Okay, and now I'm going to use a brush to manually erase those so that I'm not like getting everywhere. I'm just getting the bits that I don't want. Okay, I'm sure that I did something and it just didn't notice that it had this effect. Whoopsies. Okay, all cleared off. That's pretty good. Just make sure I get all those little bits that might have gotten lost. Okie dokie. Cool. Now, if we look at the black and white, that is better. I think it would be nice if these spines were a little bit different again. So I'm going to make them a touch more pink. And select, and I've locked the transparency and fill. Nice. That's pretty. Cool, let's save. And what do I want to do now? What do I want to do now? We probably should just do some like basic painting in stuff. So I'm going to do, let's do the eyebrows and like the eyes and stuff. So I've got a layer that is the body color, and clipped on top I've got this white layer. Oh no, what happened there? Let me just fix that up. This is my base layer, so this should be a solid full-on color. And then this is white, which is a layer clipped to the top. And then on top of that, I'm going to clip another layer. And let's go a little bit darker and a little bit more blue. A little bit more saturated. And fill in these eyes. Not eyes, these eyebrows. Expand like 2 pixels just to overlap the outlines a little bit. And then make sure that we've got it all filled in. And I just want to get rid of this little line here. Fix that up a little. I might just do that in the nose as well, just so it's a little bit darker. Maybe we'll just go a little bit more dark. This is like the nostril, because these this little dragon face is based on a hognose snake, and that's where their nose is. Isn't that cute? Their nose is like way up there. Eyes now, like pupil color. Pupil color could be anything. I'm wondering about like a purple, like a purpley purple, like a purple's purple. It might be a bit much. Let's try it. I kind of like it. Let's keep it. Toes. These little toes. What color should toes be? They should probably be, maybe let's go a little bit lighter, maybe? I could probably just paint these if I'm on the correct layer. Little fingernails. I like how they're not sharp. They're a little bit round. Cute and friendly nails, but on a scary beastie. And I think also it would be cool. Let's do a little bit of a gradient. So I like to darken the legs on characters. Just because I think it's cool. I think like if you're painting a person, hands tend to be, well, on people with light skin, hands will show more blood underneath the surface, so they tend to be like a little bit darker than the rest of the skin. So like around joints, I tend to just sort of make them a little bit darker because it's sort of like there's less muscle and less fat on this in the body, and the blood can come through. So you see like knees and feet and hands and like knuckles and elbows and shoulders tend to be a little bit darker than the rest of the body. As a general guide, a general rule of thumb. So I do that on animals as well. I like to darken the points. It just sort of clarifies where the points are, where the joints are, and you know, darken things that have less muscle on them and that are more bony. So I'm gonna do that now. I'm going to do a big soft brush and I think sometimes I would select the shape and brush into it, but I think I'm gonna like erase it manually. Why not? So just darken these leggies and also a little bit on the knees, and there's probably like some sort of elbow here. Very subtle. And now select into it and Alt, deselect. Nope, that was not Alt. Undo. Is this Alt? Yeah, I've got some like buttons on my tablet and I've set them, but I sometimes forget what I set them to. Let's erase that. And erase that. And now I might just like just gonna like tone down this one a little bit on the knee. And little fingies. And this foot as well. This is also a foot. It's just that it's behind everything. So I'm just going to select that, darken that. And let's do the tail as well. Big soft brush. Why is this not working? Is it working? Maybe it is working. Maybe it's just subtle and slow. And let's also darken the nose a little bit because it's kind of a point. And now I'm just going to erase back into that and soften that out. What's happening here? Okay, that's probably fine. A little buddy. I think I want the tail and like the wings to be a bit more pink. And you may say, are they not already pink? I think they could be more pink. Click this layer, select the color. Let's go like a bit more red. Nope, that's not. Regret and undo. What's next? What next? What next? How about let's gradient some colors in the wings and stuff. So we've got this blue on the body, and I think it would be cool if we did like the wing is blue at the base and then it sort of gradients up to be pink. That's the wrong blue. That's the one. So now it kind of blends in a little bit. And is it gonna be, does it go up at all like this maybe? That's cool. It's a little wing or a little, it looks kind of like an ear. Let's do that on all of them. Okay, this wing is behind everything. Oh no. Gonna have to turn off a bunch of stuff so that I can see it. These ones. Maybe also those ones. Yeah, that's probably fine. Move that up. Nice. Zoom out and bring back everything. Right, so we're going to really need to figure out how to clarify what's going on with these wings because they are a little bit see-through. And there's a lot behind them. I'm going to select these lines. I'm going to make a clipping mask. I'm going to select, how about we just select where the near wings are. Nope, undo. I accidentally merged a bunch of layers. Undo. Select, where's the select option? Selection from layer? Create selection? Yeah, nice. So that selects the entirety of the wing silhouette. And now we go back to these lines here and clipped onto those lines. I need to pick a dark bluey color. It needs to be dark enough that it reads as the outline, but lighter than the black that I'm currently using for the outline. Yeah, that might be okay. Let's do that on all of the spines. And also on the wings, the faraway wings. Okay, I think we need to go a little bit lighter. Just redo that. Those are the faraway wings. Oh, actually, that's only one of the faraway wings. Where is it gone? I've lost the layer. Deselect. Select. That's this one. That's the fill. Okay. Oh no, what's happened? Why is everything's moved? Undo, undo. Undo it. Okay. It's very finicky. I've got a lot of layers that I'm trying to manage here. Oh, you can't even see the other wing. It's fine. Maybe if it's like, what if it's actually just the body color? That's probably not so bad. I thought it needed to be a darker color, but this might be okay. Just getting a little bit confused in all my layers. Everything is very organized, but there are many layers. This one, make sure that I'm getting them all. Now, wings themselves, this wing needs to have something on it, and this one could be a little bit darker because it's the in front thing. What's happening? Let me just turn off these front wings and see what is going on here. Hmm. Just wondering why they're staying so dark. Why are they so dark? I'm using not a very dark color. Hmm. Okay. Let's try again. I think I figured it out. Yeah, okay. I was selecting and it something to do with opacity happened. It's tricky to explain, but it's fine. Okay, painting manually now. This seems to solve it. So that's these spines, then these spines behind. And now for the faraway wing. Okay, that's looking a bit more clear now. Hello. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad that that you've returned to see how the little dragon's going. I'm sorry that I couldn't finish it last stream. We had technical difficulty. Never fun. Cute. Okay, so yeah, so the wings are a little bit see-through, but I think the spine's probably not a little bit see-through because they're gonna let's just, it would be cool though. Let's just see what happens if we do that. 60% there, 60% there. It's very messy. What if the near ones are solid? Wait, let me try something. What if I'm just thinking it would be really cool if they were all translucent. Selection from layer, and then actually we don't even need to do that. Copy that layer. You don't know what I'm doing, but it makes sense to me. Paste it here. Did that work? Did that work? I don't think so. Copy the big spines. Paste on the little spines. Clipping mask. It's still kind of messy. Maybe it's the body. Paste. Clipping mask. Lower opacity. I think that's better. Okay, it's the illusion of transparency, but it's not literal transparency. I'll just clean up some of this. Basically what I did was I copied the fill of the body and clipped it to the fill of this like smaller level of spines. And so it gives the illusion that we're looking through it, even though it's actually full opacity. So that's, wait, what's going on here? I think this layer is a little overlap here that is getting in the way. That all looks pretty cool. It's just occurring to me that maybe we need even fewer lines in the wing silhouette. So the spines, so this is the outline for the spines. So if I select the color for the spines, if I go back to the outline, and if I just, it's tricky to explain, but if I just fill that in the exact color, and then that whole silhouette disappears, I'm just gonna like see where this goes for a little bit. Hmm. Hmm. I think that's helping. I don't know. I don't know. I think I'm just gonna take a quick 2-minute break. And then I'll be right back to solve this conundrum. So I'm just gonna write a little note on the screen in a friendly purple color. BRB 2 min. Okay, see you very soon. Hello, I have returned with water. I am now hydrated. Hello, Wild Silver Studio. You did not get here too late. Thank you so much for stopping by. I'm in the middle of coloring this dragon. There's still quite a bit to do. The current conundrum is trying to make sure that, because the wings are a little bit translucent, a little bit see-through, I want to make sure that we're getting that effect, but it's not like too complicated. And yeah, this is where we currently are. Let's try. It's a complicated series of clipping masks. So what if we did? No, got you, pets. Tricky. It's tricky. Hello. Hello, Tatsudon. Welcome. Yeah, I'm still figuring out this overlapping thing. Let's look at it in black and white. That might help. Sometimes that helps. Black and white. Yeah, it's all very similar. It's all very similar. We've got to expand the values a little bit. So let's pick the blue of the body and make it a little bit darker. Let's start there to give us a bit more room. So filling that in a bit darker, and now let's go darker again. Well, the thing is, it's based on hydrangeas. How dark do hydrangeas get? Hello. Oop, it's just auto-saving. Sometimes when my program kind of stops, I'm like, is it auto-saving? And it usually is. Also, I've just noticed, so there's like a little, you'll notice the little drawing of me in the lower left of the frame. It's a little self-portrait, and it's supposed to jump up and down when I talk to be like, look, I'm talking, jump, jump, jump. But sometimes I'm in this little like microphone situation with it where if it's on one of my microphones, which is the one that I've got a microphone that I'm using and a microphone that's like built into my laptop, and if it's on one of them, it doesn't move at all. And if it's on the other one, it moves constantly because it's hearing the noise of my laptop, just the little like laptop engine. So today it's jumping up and down a whole bunch, but sometimes it's not jumping at all. It did used to work. I don't know what's going on. Now that I've pointed that out, is that really distracting? And also, I've just seen big old split. Let's undo until that goes away. There we go. Now, do that again. Select. How about, oh, I should get rid of my little note as well. Select the whole thing. That is a darker color. Let's go for the color that was somewhere in between that I had. Trying to keep it looking like a hydrangea. And hydrangeas are kind of like pastel. Maybe we can go down to like there. Yeah, and then if I, first of all, get rid of my little note here. And then if I darken these patches more, then maybe by comparison, the body will look pastel vibes. Maybe? Yeah, totally. Expanding the values. Now that I've done that, I need to just adjust this layer, this secret little layer here. And save. Okay, so now that we've got some darker colors, we've got more room in the middle for our middle tones. Back to black and white. And I think we can make, if the wings and the tail's going to be like same treatment as the wings, so we'll get to that once we figure out the wings. The wings are the lightest, the body is the darkest, then I want to move through some kind of a value gradient on these two layers of spines. So pick this color on the first layer of spines and make it a little bit darker. And then on this next layer of spines, pick that color. And that is actually a very light pastel, which is where the problem's coming from. It's too light. Make that a little bit darker. Maybe make it like a little bit more saturated. Can we more saturated so that, because it's this layer is on a lower opacity, so it's going to be blending with the white background behind. So if we go like real saturated, we'll just sort of set it up for staying a little bit more saturated as it blends with the background. Okay, now, oh my gosh, inside those wings we can see more layers, more of the silhouettes. Black and white. Okay, it's still fairly similar, but it's definitely improving. Let's pick this pink. And this is a very light pink that we've got on the wings. Yeah, I think that's probably what needs to... what needs to happen? There we go. And let's just get all of those wings, because there's 2 front wings and 2 back wings. So there's 4 bits to these wings. A bit to the back wings. Fill that in. Hello, Bill K. Welcome. Yeah, cool. I think that's working better. I'm thinking like I'm just gonna erase a little bit of this this gradient on this far leg here. Just gonna have that start a little bit lower down so that it gets a little bit like the base of the body color is a bit more visible behind the spines there. Okie dokie. I say okie dokie a lot. It's weird streaming because you learn the things that you say, and apparently I say okie dokie. So now I'm just gonna get this tail to match what we've got on the wings and see how that looks. Adjusting those pink layers. I've had a thought. What if it was more of a gradient again? That could be pretty. Okay, we're gonna go with these tails. Let's go that color. So this is the first layer. So let's go the second layer is the same color as the second layer of spines. Make sure I'm doing this properly. It's very fiddly, lots of layers. And then let's also do this one. Maybe the same. Maybe? No. Let's do that one somewhere in between. So let's go a little bit lighter and a little bit more pink. And save. And now all of these outlines in the tail. I've got... This is really fiddly. It's kind of... It's cool, but it's just very like layer management, you know? Change display color, and now let's just make sure that I've got these outlines as the correct color. No, that's pretty good. I have noticed though, what is this little gap here? Go on, get out of here. Pick up the color from the layer and I'm just gonna draw over this little outline that's showing through. It's ruining the vibe. Nice. So this layer, pick that color, and golly. It's just, oh my gosh, the things I say. Golly and okie dokie. I'm so wholesome. I kind of like being wholesome though. Let's select this layer and then to this. You can't see all of the layer management I'm doing. I'm sorry, but it's important. Okay. Yeah, see, isn't that just so much prettier? Now what? This one. I could probably just gosh, where am I? While speaking, I completely lost my place. I'm on this layer. I need to select this one. And whilst finding my place, I have now forgotten what I was going to say. Yeah, pretty. Yes. Yeah, it's nice to have a little bit of like color in the lines through the see-throughness of it all. So clip that to that. Oh my gosh, where am I? This layer. Select this one. Back to that one. Bill. I feel like there's a bit missing over here. What's happening there? Oh, I see. Okay, let's just do that manually. This bit. Cool. And also, there's a little bit from the spines. Oh my gosh. So on this shape, we also just need to fill in this little bit here. This is so subtle. Is there anything else that this one's overlapping with? No. Let's go to this one. Okay, I think that is it. Okay, save the file. Oh, yay. I'm so glad you're finding this relaxing. That's really lovely. Um, 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 How about now? I'm not really feeling the eye color anymore. It's a bit distracting. Let's go for like a I don't mind the hue. Let's just go for like more of a dusky. How about more of like a dusky light color maybe? What would that look like? Fill that in. Nope. Too many all on the same layer. I forgot. Select more carefully. I'm going to also darken these eyebrows a bit. That is it. Yeah, sorry, I'm just gonna make sure it lines up with the colors that I've used elsewhere. That's not it. That one. Okay, that's fine. Let's do like, what should we do now? Maybe some texture. I've just noticed this. I darkened the body of the dragon, but I didn't carry that over to these little bits on the wings. Let's just fix that up. That's better. What layer am I on? Click, lock transparency, select and fill. Nice. Where did it go? On this far away one. Okie doke. My goodness. Now that I'm thinking about all of the things that I say, I can't stop thinking about it. Okie doke. Who says okie doke? Okay, let's look in black and white. That's fairly clear. Let's flip. Flip. I like to say it's about flipping time. Ha ha ha. Ha ha ha. Yeah. Okay. This little thing is annoying me. It's tiny. It's so tiny. But this wing is not showing through this the spines. How about I just like, what if I just do, that's not quite it, is it? Kind of like that, but like halfway. That might be enough to just sell the illusion. Cool. Now we've got, I do kind of enjoy black outlines, but I'm wondering maybe we do colorful outlines. Because it's quite pretty how they go kind of purple. What if we, just for the lols, for the fun of it, let's just try. It's gonna have to be dark color. It's got to be darker than most stuff so that it reads as an outline. I like that. I like it. Let's do the other spines as well. This is a clipping layer that I've got behind all of the overlappy, filling in, shapy stuff that I was just figuring out before. So that should stay the same, and this is just getting everything else. I think actually I'm going to leave the black on the body so that that is more visible. And I'll just do colored outlines on transparent bits. I'm just going through the tail. Lovely. Now for the wings. They are a translucent bit, but they're also connected to the not translucent body. So what happens if I just fill them in? And then maybe I erase the bits closest to the body. And we'll do that on the others as well. I think that helps. Let's just save it anyway. Sometimes I like to just spin. Just spin. Oop, accidentally undoing, supposed to be zooming out. Spin it around just to look at it in a different way. These little wings are so silly. They're so probably not doing anything. I think they're for display. They're not like flying wings. They're just like little display. You could like flap them and be like, look, I'm so pretty. Come and live with me. Yeah, cool. Sometimes like flipping and spinning and just looking at the image in a different way, it helps me sort of see it clearly. This pink. I do want to do a bit more like textures and stuff, but I just want to make sure that the base is working properly before we do that. Mm-mm. He looks like something Nimona would turn into. It's very true. I love Nimona. I really love the art style of the animation. I love, like, I haven't read the comic, but I do love the original, like, comic art style. Um, but I really love the way that they adapted it into the film. Like, the art style is so cool, and I love like Nimona's animal forms, how they're all like rounded and like chunky, and I just love the shapes that they've chosen. So yeah, I can see the influence here. um, how about I think like I don't I wonder if there's like something else that I should be like tweaking in the base of it, but I'm not sure what it is. So for now, let's just do a bit more texture. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a layer on the body, and I'm going to use one of my favorite brushes, which is it's a Clip Studio Paint default brush. And is it this one? Let me just check. It is. It's called Droplet, and it's in the airbrush palette. And it just makes really wonderful random little speckly bits, and I use it all the time and I love it. And it's easy to customize. You can make those speckles smaller or thinner, or like change the angle of them, so it's very versatile. Hello, Asta. Hello, thank you for dropping by. This is how the Hydrangea Dragon's going, a little dragon who lives on a hydrangea bush. So okay, I've got this particle size. The particles are too big. Let's make them more small. Potentially yet more small. Let's go a smaller number. Yeah, cool. Now I would like them to be less round, so I'm going to change the thickness so that they move a little bit like along the flow of the body. Yeah, pretty. Yes. And I'm going to select my theory for this is to sort of blend these scales a little, like the plates, a little bit into the body so that it's like scales. So is there a pen pressure on particle size? There could be. There could be. Ooh, nice. Let's also then make the particles a little bit bigger to compensate for that. I love this brush. It's so good. Isn't that cool? It's so much, it's so quickly, just adds exactly what it needs. Let's zoom in. So I'm starting with this color. I'll add some like lighter-y glistening bits next, but this is like layer number one. We go so bigger scales around like the face, and like all around like the jawbone kind of thing. Bigger scales also could be, I might just move that on top of the gradient layer, but do that in the right order. There we go. Bigger scales on like elbow, knee joint kind of bits, making sure that I'm drawing in the flow of the body, so down the leg, so that the scales kind of move. Sort of imagine, I don't like that. Let's redo that one. Sort of imagine like the direction that hair grows on a cat. Things tend to, when things grow on a body, they tend to follow the certain path from the body. It's sort of like from the nose outward and down and out. It's how things tend to grow on creatures. So that's like the direction of cat hair. It's the direction of human hair generally. And like, I'm not 100% sure if it's the direction of how scales work, but it probably is. Probably is. I could look it up. I'm not gonna. Sometimes I say things and I'm like, I need to look that up. I'm telling you now, I'm not gonna look that one up. I can't be bothered. feels true. So scales on elbows, scales on this elbow as well. So bigger ones on joints and then little ones in between. Let's get, so a cool thing about this is, let me just check what you can see. Yeah, you can see my mouse. So when I make the area of the mouse bigger, in this program, in this tool, it doesn't make the particle bigger. It makes the area that the particle can be bigger, which is cool because it means I can do like big areas of tiny little particles. I just really like this program. It's good. Clip Studio Paint. Just do a little dusting of particles all over the body. Generally following the direction of growth that I was talking about. Down the leg. Down this leg. Down this leg. Kind of feel like it's like space. This brush is great. It's really I use it for like texture in animals. Like if I'm drawing like a flea-bitten gray horse, this is really good for that sort of flea-bitten pattern. It's good for scales, and it's good for like adding a little bit of speckliness to like dirt and soil. If you make the particles long and thin, it can be good for indicating fields of grass. It's just, I love this brush. Lovely. Now I'm just going to do some like slightly bigger particles as well up here. Little dragon. Dragon. Now, I have a theory. I think I'm going to add some like sparkly bits, some bits that are kind of catching the light a little bit. But I want to keep them in the silhouette of the ones that I just drew there. So I'm adding a layer and I'm going to select the silhouette of that layer that I just drew, and I'm going to set it as a clipping mask on this up layer here. So now I'm going to pick a lighter color and paint back into it, and it should only show up where the scales already are. Haha! Extra little highlight on various points, like where knees bend or where the surface is a little bit raised. Maybe it's a little bit catching the light. Ooh, what did I do? I think I just selected the base color accidentally. Let's change it back to that color that I meant. There we go. I think I've got a hotkey on my stylus that if I press it, it changes to the color picker tool. And so sometimes I press it and I'll be like halfway through drawing and suddenly the drawing is a different, I'm drawing different colors. I'm like, where did that come from? It's this button. Cute. Save the file. As we have learned, we save the file. What now? What now? Can we just do like a real highlighty bit? Let's pick the lightest pink that we already have. Select, what? Nope. I'm going to make another layer. This one, I think I'm just going to do like little bits, so maybe I won't do that mask. Or will I? Let's also play around with a blend mode. Yeah, maybe. Anything on his nose? No. He's so pretty. Um, I have a thought. Let's just try it out. What if this is like lighter? Oh. Interesting. Let's look at it. Is that too light though? I think I like the idea. That's maybe not light enough. Middle. Or just back to what we had. Is that distracting? It's kind of distracting. I think it's kind of distracting. Let's undo it. I'll come back to that thought. Now what should we do? Should we do, I just kind of want like a little something extra on the spiny bits. What if I go for like white speckle? Lower that opacity? I don't know. Let's go for like what if it was like it's just like it's already quite complicated, and I think that's what's tripping me up a little bit is that it's already complicated. I don't want to make it too difficult to know what's going on. I think we need to like send these spines way back. Let's pick that color and let's make that lighter. A lot of like trying and seeing how it looks and thinking about it. Maybe the wings. I had this thought that like the body was dark and then the spines were medium and then the wings and the tail was light, but maybe it should be the body is dark, the wings are dark to medium, and the spines are light. Because then the structure of the body, including the wings, would be one thing rather than being separated on either side of the spine's value. Maybe let's try that. Let's try that. So how do I try that? Let's take that color and what was the color that I had before? Pick that purple. And now let's put that on the wings maybe and see what happens. or this darker color. No, I think it should be lighter than the body. Maybe that darker color if we paint that into, oh my gosh, what am I doing? Resizing windows. Nope, I'm not on the speckledy brush. Let's go for a big soft brush. Looking at that, thinking, oh, I'm just seeing everyone's calling it cute. Thank you, everyone. So nice. Just trying to make sure that like the values are clear and it's like readable. Because it is like with all these overlapping bits, which I think are really cool, it's just it could be very complicated, and it is quite complicated. So I'm just trying to make sure that we're balancing stuff. I keep looking at this tail and thinking like, just want to clarify. That looks better. Way less messy. So just taking a minute to think about. I'm gonna flip it again. Flippity flip. I think other things I would like to do are like I want to put a little bit of a shadow pass on, and just like finishing touchy bits, finishing touches. That I pressed a button. I don't know what it did. What it did. Undo. Good. Brought up a window, and I don't know what that window does. Maybe I just, in the interest of not overcomplicating it, let's just have the wings be black outlines like the body. Yeah, I just think that's more readable. This one, this tail was a black outline as well. Maybe even this first pass of spikes could be a black outline as well. No, no. Put that one back. Don't be silly. Cool. Let's do a shadow pass. Let's save and do a shadow pass. And how am I gonna do a shadow pass? We'll find out. I'm noticing this leg has a lot of overlappy bits, and that's gonna be tricky. We'll figure something out. Oh no. What am I gonna do? Closing a bunch of folders. Let's do shadow pass on the body first. Start simple. This is the body. Make a layer. I'm gonna label this layer shadow. And let's just use like the purple of the body. Set it to multiply. Set it to like, I don't know, 30%. And just start painting some shapes. What about that one? Oh yeah, cool. That's a good shape. Well, it's a good idea for a shape. That one was better. Oh no, now I've lost the color. Pick up color from layer. Nice. Swoopy. And curve it around. And I like this brush. This is like it's a default brush on Clip Studio Paint. It's in the pen palette. It's called the Real G Pen. I don't know why it's called that, but it's got this nice textured edge to it, but it is a solid flat color, and that's very useful. What if I go like, what happens then if I do this sort of thing? What if I just fill it? I'll get rid of it on the tooth, but what if I just I don't know about that. Undo. Get rid of it on the tooth. Maybe put a little bit back on the tooth. And on this tooth. Now, this is like the eyebrow, sort of having a little bit of a shadow on the eye there. Cleaning that up. I don't know if I like that. Let's have a look. I don't like this little point down here. I don't know. Get rid of it. Get rid of it. Let's just do that on the eye, maybe. No. No. What if it was like that? And like, huh? Zoom out, have a look. Kind of. I'll probably keep that one for now. And oh yeah, that could be cute. This, do we do this? Do we do like a little shape for the nose overlap? No, I don't know. This I think should go higher. Trying to think about like flowy shapes. So that would flow this way in the tummy. And little foot, chunky leggy shape. That I think is now going too high because it's not really leading into anything. Maybe it starts like this. This bit, maybe it's like that. And then we find a way to make that work here. So that blows from there. I like it when lines kind of flow. They flow together. Let's rotate. Yeah, that's nice. Rotate back to where it should be. Okay, what to do about that leg? That leg, maybe, so it's got to have something here for the toes. If we do that, yeah, that's probably fine. Because then we just believe, because like if I was doing it like that, no, it's fine as well. I think I'm just going to do it like this. It's fine. I was about to do some sort of a lofty explanation, but I don't think it needs it. Now, shadows can help us figure out the wings. Shadows can help define where the wings are and what the wings are doing. I still think this is really complicated in the wings. It is. Maybe the wings shouldn't be transparent. Let's try that. I do think that's clearer. It would be nice to keep some transparency. I think I need to do a fiddly layer thing. I have this idea that like the lighter part is more see-through than this darker part that I've got on the edge of the wing. So I think that's going to be a fiddly little thing that I will do next. Yeah, oh my gosh. It just I didn't have my stylus on the surface, but it was drawing. It was confusing and scary. I was afraid. Trying to have this shadow also kind of follow the curve of the body. But it can't be too sharp because there's not really any sharpness in this drawing. To be round and friendly. Okay, yeah, cool. Let's save. Always save. Oh, you want this on a fridge magnet or a sticker? That would be adorable. Protecting your food. Yeah, I'm not really set up to make magnets, I'm sorry. Or stickers. I should probably figure that out. Stickers would be cool. I have had requests for stickers, but I've never quite gotten that set up. And I think like this shadow, I'm just going to turn it down. It's nice when a shadow is like subtle. It's just like adding to the understanding of the shape, but it's not really distracting. So I like to turn shadows down sometimes. Yeah, about that. Unless of course the shadow is like a thing. It's like a statement. It's like part of the thing. But here it's just describing the form, so just turn it down a little. Now to tackle the wings. These outlines. Let's bring these outlines back to blue. Yeah, that's better. To tackle the wings, what if I just turn off the wings? Radical. What if instead of fixing the problem, we just remove the problem? Where do I keep these faraway wings? Oh my gosh. jumping in layers. Show me, show me. Where are they? There we go. Flower wings. Okay. Is that, I like that better. Do we just not have wings? Maybe we just don't wing. Not all dragons have wings. There's a whole bunch of dragons that don't have wings. Hmm. Maybe he breathes fire. That's why he's a dragon. As opposed to a cute little lizard. Yeah, I don't know. I think that's more readable. Let's put the wings back on and see. Just gonna have to find them in my layers. Neo wings. Maybe if they were more like, I just think it's really cute to have like tiny little wings. I also think it's cute how they're like in the middle of his back. Like really they should be between his shoulders, but I think it's really cute that they're a bit lower down. I would like to make the wings work. I'm making them more distinct from the silhouette by changing their angle and cool. And now let's bring back the far wings. Far wings. There we go. Found them. Let's rotate those. We don't want them to be too parallel, but I just want them to sort of resemble one another. Let's go like that, I think. And now, because I've got a bunch of layers on those faraway wings, I'm just going to go in there and figure out what's going on with all those pieces. What has happened here? Why is this one split away from the line? There we go. I think I didn't draw all of the lines all the way down for them to be at this angle, so let's just fill that in now. Oh, no, maybe I did. Maybe I've got a clipping mask. Clipping masks are great because you can just get rid of them. Haha, there's the line. Okay, well, that's where the line stops. So I will have to extend this one. This shape's gone and moved again. Now that's complicated again. I'm going to think on that, and while I do that, I'm going to adjust the tail because I'm not 100% pleased with how this is lining up. So select this one and just like, I'm just going to like tweak these shapes around a little. That's just a little bit slow. You can do it. Come on, program. Save, just in case. Yeah, about there. Yes, just clarifying some of the shapes in here. There was just a bit too many, and they weren't exactly the same on both sides. So it was a bit like, rotate that around. This, I'm really, I really am enjoying these adjustments that I'm doing just now. This is making it way clearer. All I want is clarity. Let's do that. And warp it a little bit. Oh no, went too far. Come back. Okay, about that. I think that reads way nicer. Let's fill in that shape. Pick up color from layer and just fill in this little bit. Fill that in. There we go. What if I just get rid of this layer? Yeah, I like that. That's the silhouettes clearer. Save again. These wings, I'm still not happy with them. Maybe it's the gradient. It's not clear enough. It's not clear. Let's do the old trick. Copy the spine layer, paste it on the spine, on the wing. And then clip. And now that's lighter and it should be darker. This probably needs to be a bit lighter then. So it's a lot of thinking in this drawing. Let's pick up maybe this color. Let's make that there. What if that was more like, yeah, I don't know. Let's go with that one for now. And then let's get this layer and fill that in. Right. And then also this bit. Cool. Interesting. Copy that. Paste that here. Clipping mask. Let's make that lower opacity. Maybe like there. Maybe more like there. So it's not literally transparent. Like I haven't lowered the opacity, but I am kind of faking it by copy pasting other silhouettes into the shape. That one there, and then the clipping mask, and then it comes back. This one needs to extend down so that I don't have this gap here. Let's try that for now. Put that one up opacity, and now I should just be able to copy these over and maybe do some little tweaks. So copy that, paste, and of course I need to change the color of the wing. Now it looks kind of see-through. Nice. Okay, one of these things is this. Has a gap, so fill that in. And this might also have a gap, so I'm just gonna fill that in. Let's just zoom out and have a look. I think this pink is too vibrant. Let's pick a pink from the tail. Use that instead. Yeah, that's a bit better. Now, I don't like the gradient that I've got for these like little, this thing. So I'm gonna, because there's no other gradient anywhere else. It doesn't really fit in. So I'm gonna pick that color and just gonna delete that and brush tool or something. think that's looking much more on style. Can we do like a wiggly? Like a wiggly? Is that weird? Kind of weird. Kind of a little bit weird. Let's just do, I'm just thinking it's like this, the line is a little bit too straight for my liking. Maybe if we like curve it down sooner. Yeah, I do think that fits in better. Just like figuring out the exact curve of it. It looks like they're glowing. That's nice. That's cute. Do you think this dragon has like glow in the dark? A little bit glow in the dark. Like a firefly? And people are like, oh, that's just a firefly. But no, it's a Hydrangea Dragon. That's probably why, well, it's a contributing factor to why they're so, unknown. Because people just think they're fireflies living in the hydrangea bush. And they're so territorial that you can't get close. Like, you get close and there's something on your face. And you're like, oh my gosh, what's that? And you leave and you never actually saw what it was. That's their entire defense strategy. This wing is slightly bigger, so this little curvy bit, I want to start that up a bit higher. You know, for like nice rhythm of shape. More made up magical animals like this, that's a good idea. I would like to do like more in these live streams, more like designing characters type stuff, like designing creatures, I mean. That could be really fun. And this is fun because I can't remember who said it. If you're here, please shout out. But someone suggested the Hydrangea Dragon, and I just thought it was such a cute idea, and so I thought I'd make up what that looks like. So that was really fun. So it'd be cool, like next time, to do more of this sort of thing, like putting stuff together and designing it together. It does take a little bit longer than drawing animals though, because animals obviously they have a look. We know what they look like, so I can look up reference and I can draw an animal, and we can do a few every live stream, so that's fun. I can get through quite a few. But designing would probably take a bit longer, so it would be like this has been 2 streams to get this looking like this. But that could be fun. We could do like part 1s and part 2s. Let's turn up the opacity on that one. Cute, cute. And also that one. I feel that this needs to be in the silhouette somehow of here. If I said that's a multiply, where actually is that? Oh, cool. That makes sense. Okay, now what? Now what? Pick up this color, put that back on normal, fill that to, but then this one also should be like that, but not see-through. And then this one could be see-through to bring it, but yeah, did it. Haha. That's so subtle. Let's look at it in black and white. Do I need more values in here? I think I do. Oh yeah, also like this inside the wing, it should be, let me think what's going on here. Okay, let's try. Just try to make these colors make sense. Let's pick this color and let's do that. Is that anything? Is that, turn that back up? Right. Now that feels too dark. Let's get this one, copy that, paste that here, clipping mask. So that, things need to be lighter than the real version of them. So this is this color, and therefore it needs to be a little bit lighter, but things are very light, so we're going to run out of values again. Oh no. No, this shouldn't be lighter than the real version. Oh, this is what's happening. This is getting tricky. I'm running into a value sticky situation. I think what's happening is like the body color, this like medium bluish color, when it's seen through the wing, it's lighter than the real version of itself. And that makes sense, right? But then this is darker than white. So it makes sense that this color is darker than this color. So that makes sense. But then the problem is this is lighter than this, but this is darker than this. So therefore in the middle, am I overthinking this? In the middle, it should be somewhere in the middle. How does this relate to this, if not being the same color, which doesn't feel very translucent? Maybe that should be, well, this is darker than this. This is darker than this. So as long as that's darker than that, and this is lighter than this. Okay, so as long, so this is dark, this is medium, this is light, this is the lightest. This is dark, this is a bit lighter. This is lighter and this is the lightest. So it's like mostly working, but there's like an axis in which it's not working, and maybe I'm getting stuck on it and maybe I shouldn't worry about it. I just don't like, I don't like this being the same color as this because it doesn't feel like it's being affected by the wing. So let's try that. No, not that. Obtain this color. Let's make this one a little bit. Let's just go darker and see what happens. Let's go a bit darker. Yeah, I think that makes sense. Okay. I think that is making sense because This, ignore that. This is like, this is, wait, where's my selecting going? Okay, autosave. Thank you, autosave. It's coming back any minute. Just giving it a moment. Okay, this is lighter than this. And 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 then this is the darkest of all. And I therefore think it makes sense. I think we solved it. Okay, now to apply it to, oh my gosh, this wing shape. This wing shape here. What does that do to everything? Do I just multiply? Let's go back to normal. Okay, wings make things darker than the real version, so this should be the darker again. Let's come back to that. Let's just, for now, let's copy over those colors. That's 71% opacity, so we have to match the opacities as well. This is here at 40. Ooh, is that even copied over? I don't think that is. Nice. And this is 40, and that is, pick this color. Maybe let's not worry about those far wings again. Okie dokie. I've said it again. I keep saying it. Okie dokie. This one, and let's make it, what if it was the, what if we just set that to darken? Multiply? But now it's very saturated, so let's pick this color and apply. This is all very fiddly stuff. And then lower the opacity. And then I think because we've got this darker thing on the legs, let's do that also on these wings. Probably going to need some scales on the wings as well, similar to the body. I kind of just want to bring back the outline on these spines. that. And let's make it that color or something. Nope, let's not make it that color. We wouldn't make it that color. Let's make it let's make it this color. Still a bit light. Let's make a new color. Let's pick this one over here, maybe. Oh, this is getting closer. Yeah, shifting it to purple. Nice. Let's just fill in those gaps. I think drawing is a good skill because it teaches you to just kind of sit in unknown things. Like when you're drawing, when you're designing, when you start, you don't really know how it's going to turn out. And it's a series of problem solving puzzles. That's really all drawing is a series of problems that you have to solve, and when you solve them all, and you get to figure out how to solve them all, which is the fun bit, then you get something cool. And so, yeah, I really like drawing because it teaches you to sit with the problem and think about it and imagine how it could be better. And yeah, I think it's good to not get too discouraged when things aren't working, because it's the figuring out and the powering through that's fun. I'm going to add another line. Who am I? Another line. I'm going to outline this. Yeah, I think drawing has a lot of benefits. So it teaches you to be okay with things being unknown, and to sit and to figure it out and to solve the problem and to try again and to undo what you did and try it again, which is more easy in digital art than traditional art most of the time. Mad respect to traditional artists. Yeah, I like that better. And it's also a good skill for learning how to see clearly, because I think anyone who's learned to draw, you'll know that, like, that when you think you see stuff, when you look at stuff, you think you're seeing it, but then when you try and draw it, you realize how much of it you're actually missing, and you have to sort of slow down and analyze like how shapes are relating to each other, and how the form works, and understand how things, like, not how you think things work, but how things actually work, in order to be able to draw them accurately. This is on a lower opacity. Solve that. Oh, he's so readable now. Aren't we glad we stuck with the problem? Yeah, so drawing's really good for, like, there's all these extra skills that are just good for, like, transferable to so many different situations. Learning how to see accurately, how to not just trust what you know, but actually look and check, and solving problems, and I don't know, it's probably some other stuff that I haven't mentioned. Multiply, lower the opacity. I just want like a skerrick of silhouette from these wings in the back. Just a whisper. And then also in this wing. Oh, why did I do that? Undo that. Select. No. Select. Why isn't it letting me select? Create selection. It doesn't go all the way down anyway, so never mind. This is on 29% and multiply. So, oh my gosh. Where did you go? 29% and multiply. Let's set this to 29% and multiply. And actually, let's just go higher percent so I can see it. And select and fill all of that in. And now back to that 29%. Okay. I'm saying it again. I really, now that I've noticed that I say okie dokie, I really want to stop saying it. Nice. Let's save. Save. Don't forget to save. I feel like, excuse me, I feel like I'm going to pick the blue of the lines that are on the spiny bits and just soften some of the lines that are on the wings here. Not entirely, but just a little bit. I'm gonna like paint this in and then lower the opacity. It's just a little glitchy. Give it a second. Put that at like 60. Yeah, it just tones it down a little bit. %, opacity. Nice. Now I'm just gonna delete some layers that you can't see, but just because I'm not using them, so might as well delete them. These old things. Delete. It's almost 1 o'clock. Gosh. A little bit of shadow under the wings, and then I suppose just like some finishing touches, but finishing touches could, I have no idea how long they could take. They could be anything. Who knows? Is that anything? No, that's not. Or is it? No. Just a little bit of shadow over there on the tail. No. Wait, let's just do that again. Yeah, something like that. I'm pretty sure something like that. It's nice to just have a little bit of shadow on surfaces when just to show that they're a little bit curved. But then we're going to send that way down to like 10%. It's a little something. What about on these? Would that work? That's obviously way too much. Let's go maybe that much. Maybe instead of shadow on those ones, I'll add some like shine. That's the way. Saving it again. I'm paranoid because last time when I started this drawing in the last stream, the computer crashed and I lost not a lot of work, but like a significant amount. It was fine, but it was annoying. So I'm like, save, save, save. I'm going to add some scales onto those wings. So pick up this scaly color, go onto the wings, go to the droplet tool. Is it this shape? Let's just select the shape. And just a little bit of particly scales to blend them in a bit more. Just going to erase these ones because they reveal a bit too much about where the edge of this layer is. Oh my gosh, what did I just do? Oh no. You have no idea because it's all happening in the layer list menu. What did I do? I think I've lost the icons. Thumbnail size, small. That fixed it. I changed the thumbnail size to none and everything changed and I was afraid, but it's fine now. Selection from layer, which is right next to the layer thumbnail option. And tweak this little shadow here. I don't want shadow that far. Save again. Don't forget to save. I think like some shine would be cute. I like doing long flowy lines of shine on stuff. So let's do that on the spine. So make a clipping mask and let's just go, I don't know, like white or what's this color? We could go, ooh, let's go like a yellow. And might even set it to overlay, but I'll just do it as flat yellow for now. What happens if we do that? Is that too much? What if it was like this? Is that, I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot going on. It's a lot visually. I tend to shy away from a lot because I'm a designer in the animation industry and we like to do things simple and clear. So the goal is always simplify. What if it was just on this one? that one a little bit less, and then that one a little bit less. Aha! And then it doesn't have to be everywhere. I think that's pretty. What if it was overlay? That just changes it to basically white. What if it was hard light? What if it was a stronger yellow color? What if I did that again? Overlay? Difference is obviously not it. Screen just sends everything really close to white. I like overlay generally, but I think we don't have enough saturation for this to really make things glow in the way that overlay can. Hard light's pretty good. Let's do that. Okay, copy that, duplicate that. Now the magic. Okay, before we do blend modes or anything, not blend modes, filters. Before we do filters, I like to save because sometimes filters can crash things. In my experience, I'm gonna move this one over. Oh no, I did it on the duplicate. Really need to do it on both of them. Okay, so now, so I've saved filter, effect, not effect, blur, Gaussian blur. And then Clip Studio is a little bit slow with Gaussian blurring. So let's go, I don't know, that much. Bit more. More again. There, maybe. The thing about shine is that you need to have darkness for light to be visible, and we are doing shine on a very light color. So it's not the most obvious. Okay, cool. Let's do a similar thing. Let's do a similar thing on the layer in front. And maybe because this one's darker, it will show up better. So we go here maybe, and let's set it to overlay. Overlay. Let's just do some stripies. Okay, well, these angles don't make any sense. Let's change that one. I don't know if this is making sense. Let's try again. This way, this way. I want it to be like fanning out a little bit as it curves down the body. It's too much. Too detailed, I mean. Too many lines. Let's try a darker yellow. No, no, we would never do that. Wouldn't dream of it. I think it's just like it's just a bit much. Undo that. It feels more shiny. Filter blur, Gaussian blur. It's just a bit distracting, I think. I'm gonna get rid of that. What if I turn it way down? I think I like that better. Let's turn this one way down as well. And it's the yellow. It's because there's no yellow anywhere else. So let's change it to pink. Yeah, I think it would be really nice to come up with more magical animals. That would be really fun. Let's do a little bit of shine on this tail. I don't know if I'll be able to do that today though, but next stream, I really like that as an idea. Shiny. Mm, 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 mm. This feels more like shine to me. I'm going to redo that first one. Redo this one. That's, I don't like the way those lines fit together. Yeah, that's subtle and pretty. Save. What else do we need? I mean, there's no ground. There is no ground. Maybe just a little shadow under the ground. Let's do that. When it has saved, I will select the shadow color and pick that up. And then now I'm going to go underneath everything. Close the folder, new layer. Let's put it at like 30%. It's on white, so it doesn't need to be on multiply because it doesn't really change anything. Figuring out where the legs go. And I don't know if you've noticed, but I have not really bothered to figure out where the light's coming from. I imagine it's just like that way. So, it might be like the leg shadow here. No, it probably just goes all the way. That's too tricky to leave a little gap there. That is gonna go this-ish kind of way. Let's zoom in on these little feet. I love these little nails. I feel like this little dragon is scrappy. Ready to scrap. And like, that's what a little fight with this little dragon would look like. It would be like scrappy. It would not be, it would not be like planned or skillful. It would be scrappy and scratchy and wriggly, and they just like jump at you and you'd be like, ah. Now this gonna go, I don't know. I want to do something that's like indicating this kind of shape without being super accurate necessarily. Something similar. And because this tail is translucent, we can have a little bit of color coming through. That would be cool. Let's select this pink maybe. I don't know. And clip to that. And blurry brush pink. And the shadow, I think, should be lighter again. ground plane is kind of confusing. Let me fix this. Pick up this color. I think maybe we do need that gap in the background. This gap here. This is a very thin lizard, I'm noticing, if this is the shadow it's casting. I think it goes like that. I think I I may have done a bit of let's do that again, but indicate some ground texture. Maybe that will help me get away with some of the stuff I'm trying to get away with. Too far, too far. Zoom out that much. Yay. Okay, we're almost done, and I'm feeling like I probably need lunch soon. So let's see if we can finish this up. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Hedgehogs that live in wine cellars and catalog them at night. Oh my gosh. Little guys, little jobs, little outfits. I love it. That's a great idea. Oh my gosh. They catalog wine. Oh my goodness. And the wine cellar wakes up and is like, oh my, who wrote this label? It's so little. That's an amazing idea. I'm just looking at this. Okay, we're thinking finishing touches. I'm gonna really try and remember that for next time because that's amazing. I really like when animals have like outfits and they like they're little people, they have little outfits and jobs and stuff. But if they're living in the real world with people, I really like when they don't have like an animal scale version of their items. So if a hedgehog is writing with a pencil, they'd be writing with a really big pencil because it's a human sized pencil, because no one makes hedgehog sized pencils. And I think that's really cute. And like when they're wearing their outfits, if this, like the outfit would obviously be tailor made for a hedgehog, but if the stitching and like the zippers are still like human scale, just because it keeps them, because they're small, it keeps them feeling small if everything that they own is a bit too big. And I really like that. I had an illustration series called Holoducks, and it was about two ducks who they had disposable income, and they went on holidays to Europe and Australia and Spain and France and England, some of which are Europe, so I don't know why I listed Europe separately. And I was thinking in that illustration series that like ducks wearing shoes, they would be like kid-sized shoes, or like ducks wearing handbags would be like a human-sized handbag. So trying to keep the scale accurate. And I think that's really funny. So I would really like to do that. Yeah, 2 hands for a pencil. Okay, quills are toothpicks for charcuterie boards, but also like what else could we do with the quills? Because quills, like they shed them, don't they? So that's interesting. Would the quills be a pencil but it would be like a pen and you would like dip it in ink? So you have to carry around like a big old pot of ink. That'd be cute. A little scratchy handwriting, that would be amazing. I really like this idea. Is there anything else we need to do? I don't really know. Maybe a few extra like shiny bits here and there, but maybe I'll just leave it there for now though, because I am pretty hungry and I would like to have some lunch. So yeah, how about yes. How about we leave it there? I'm going to really quickly write that down though. Where will I write this down? Give me one moment. Okay, I'm back. I'm just writing this down so that I can remember for next time because it's so cute. I love cute stuff. Okay. Hedge. Hog. Category. I'm gonna say it as I write it out on my little notepad. Categorize wine in cellar at night. Cute. Adorable. I love it. So next time I would really like to do like just a bunch of sketches of a little hedgehog who works in a wine cellar and categorizes things at night and leaves little notes and scratchy little handwriting and little wine cellar outfit. And yeah, we'll just do a bunch of like sketchy drawings. That sounds adorable. I love it. So okay, as for the next stream, I don't know when that will be. I'm sorry. I have some stuff coming up that might be affecting my schedule. And so I cannot guarantee exactly when the next stream will be. I would like to do a stream every week. Like the goal is a stream every week. and ideally same day, same time every week, so that you guys have some sense of when this is going to happen, and you can plan around it if you would like to. And I'm super sorry that I don't think I can do a consistent schedule for the time being. So to compensate, the backup plan is to try and schedule them ahead of time, and to like, I'll make a little post saying when I've scheduled it as another way to let you know that I've scheduled a stream. And I would like to do those a few days in advance, but sometimes it's about a day in advance. So sorry, I'm still new to streaming, so I'm still trying to get into the swing of things. But yeah, maybe just keep an eye on the channel every now and then if you would like to come back next week. But ultimately, if you miss a stream, all of them are recorded in the live tab on my YouTube page. So if you ever miss a stream, you can go back and watch it later, or you can like watch bits that you missed or duck in and out, that sort of thing. So yes. Okay, so I'm going to try to stream next week. I don't know what day that will be. It could be on my weekend, or it could be on my Monday, and I'm in Australia, so depending on where you are, I might be a day ahead of you. Those I think are the most likely options. Next, either Saturday, Sunday, or Monday. Somewhere in there, maybe, but keep an eye on my channel. I'll try and let you guys know a little bit in advance. Cool, and we'll draw a hedgehog who works in a wine cellar. And I just love the idea of like the owner of the wine cellar is like, what? I keep finding tiny little notes everywhere, but they're written in hedgehog and I can't read them. That sounds really cute. Cool. Okay. Let me just read the comments for a moment. Awesome. You are all so nice. Thank you so much. Hedgehog emojis, heart emojis. Woo, hedgehog. Hedgehogs are adorable. And yes, I have not actually seen Fantastic Mr. Fox. I probably should. It's one of those things that like, oh, you got to watch it, and I just haven't. Sorry. I should. I really love Beatrix Potter though, so it reminds me of Beatrix Potter, and all of the animals wearing their outfits and doing mischief, and yes, I love those books. Yeah. Okay, cool. I'm going to head off because I'm hungry and would like some lunch. So thank you so much for joining me. If you wanted to watch any of this, again, it's on the live tab in my YouTube channel. And yeah, Hydrangea Dragon. What a cutie. What a cutie. A little beastie. He's going to get ya. Stay away from his hydrangea bush. It's very territorial. It's his bedroom. Leave it alone. Okay. I'll talk to you next time. Thank you so much for joining. I appreciate you all so much. Bye. Bye-bye.